Welcome back, True Seeker. One of the top stories today, Tuesday, June 10th, 2025, is the mass shooting at the Austrian school that has reportedly took at least 9 lives. We're going to watch a little bit of the coverage, and then we're going to go back and be reminded of the small mustache man from Austria who has an April 20th birthday, which is the day in history of the Columbine shooting in 99. We get to how today's shooting's 99 days after the leader of Austria's birthday. And of course, ever since Columbine, there's been a lot more school shootings in the news. It started a major trend. But first, a little news coverage, then we'll break it down.
Tragedy has struck the Austrian city of Graz, where a school shooting has claimed the lives of at least 8 individuals. The incident.
Since this video was made, they're now saying at least 9. I'm guessing the shooter, because they said the shooter self-deleted. I'm guessing the shooter's the 9th, so 8 victims plus the shooter.
Unfolded on Tuesday, June 10th, when gunshots were reported inside a local school, prompting immediate police action. Austrian police confirmed a major operation was underway following the shooting. The operation commenced at 10 a.m. as authorities responded to the distressing reports. The building, located on Dreierschwetzengasse, is currently being searched, and the public has been advised to steer clear of the area. Students and teachers were among those seriously injured, as reported by Austrian state media ORF, citing local police sources. The suspected perpetrator, reportedly a pupil at the school, is believed to have taken his own life, according to ORF. It is unclear whether the student's reported death is included in the total reported victim toll.
Okay, so again, it's Austria, where Small Mustache Man's from, the guy who supposedly committed self-deletion, but his body was never found, as our history books teach us, which I always thought was very nonsensical once upon a time as a pupil myself. But yeah, let's go through this. From Small Mustache Man's birthday anniversary, April 20th, which of course was the day of the Columbine shooting. From that day to today is a span of 52 days. And the shooting today was in Graz. If you're new here, you got to learn this simple practice of ABC is 1, 2, 3. And understand, the English language, which is largely the language of the world, and the Gregorian calendar, which is largely the calendar of the world, which again was implemented at the same time English was standardized with 26 letters. These were implemented at the end of the 16th century as a system by the Jesuits. The Jesuits gave us the calendar and the language. And, you know, you talk about Small Mustache Man. He modeled the SS after the Jesuits. The Jesuits, highly influential. If you followed my work, I've talked about how their fingerprints are over all these dirty deeds in the news that shape the minds, that eventually shape the politics, which shape the agendas. Again, they want a world where people fear for their lives and they look to authority to protect them. But again, this practice of coding numbers into words, it's very simple. It's based on the alphabetic order. A is 1 up to Z is 26. The alphabetic order, Gras, is 52. Using this most simple cipher. If you apply numerology, it's 25. Here we are in 2025. If you run the alphabetic order in reverse, Z is 1 back to A is 26. It's 56, like Small Mustache Man offed himself at age 56, and his name also equals 56. If you run it in reverse with numerology, the town equals 20. And just for the record, in those ciphers, death equals 20 and 25. This is a story of death out of this town. We'll get to the town. Well, actually, we'll just get to it right now. The town is on the 47th parallel. If you're new here, I talk about how this number is used in major ritual all the time. Government, authority, news, a whole lot of things that have to do with authority equate to 47. This town on the 47th parallel north. You can see how the words government and authority both have the 5247 connection. Today's date numerology, June 10th, 2025. One of the paths is 6 plus 10 plus 20 plus 25, which is 61. 61 would break down to 7. But the point is this 61 shows up in a lot of mass shooting stories. I covered this in my 2017 book, Letters and Numbers. There's a 100-page chapter on this. The mass shootings over the years was 61. Notice, active shooter, the terminology they use in the media is 61. Small Mustache Man, he has that 61 connection, also the 56 connection, like the location has the 56 and the 52 going with it being 52 days from his birthday, April 20th, the day of Columbine in 99. Now, the mayor of this town, she's 63. She has a November 2nd birthday, 112. This number was massive with a recent shooting in the US that had a major political focus that's still brought up every time there's a mass shooting to this day. And I'm talking about Sandy Hook. Remember, they had to tell you that Adam Lanza weighed 112 pounds, 112. If you're new here, let me just pull up the calculator real quick. Adam Lanza's birthday is the 112th day of the year. They had to, again, Sandy Hook 112. They had to tell you he weighed 112 pounds. His initials A.L. A's the first letter, L's the 12th, 112. It was compared to the Dune Blaine massacre, which happened March 13th, 96, which was the date with 112 numerology. It got gun rights taken away in the UK. His full name, Adam Peter Lanza, 56. SH, the school, was established in 1956. The shooting was 56 years later. And don't forget, on the anniversary of the shootings, the day the shot went live in the U.S., December 14th, for the 56 virus. Even the solution for it was another 56, and it was highly promoted by that Jesuit Anthony Fauci and that other Jesuit Gavin Newsom, who said 56% of the state was going to get cooties in 8 weeks, which is 56 days. And then it was also highly promoted by the Jesuit educated, his name's not 56. His brother's name's actually 56, who was on CNN at the time. But the 56 governor of New York, Jesuit educated, who went to the same Fordham school that Trump did. Trump went there 56 years before the scam was declared in 2020. But anyway, I'm just making the point about how these same recurring numbers are used all throughout history because they point back to the gang responsible, the Jesuits, a.k.a. the Society of Jesus, the 56 gang. But yeah, it did stand out to me that she's got this 112 birthday. They have this shocking shooting, huge number in SH and in other related events. Remember, Jesuits, 112 countries. That's what they claim. The Jesuits claim to operate in 112 countries, supposedly having 16,000 members, like they were created in the 16th century, the century they implemented the calendar and the English language as we know it, which they've spread across the world. Also noteworthy is this shooting on the 10th. It comes 18 days before the anniversary of a very famous shooting that's responsible for the world wars, and that's of the Archduke Franz Ferdinand, who's also from Austria. And remember, Black Hand was responsible for that shooting. Look at the numbers in Black Hand, right? There's that 56 and 52 again. They said the gang that was Black Hand took him out. See the 187 as well, homicide code, like Society of Jesus also has that. Look at Small Mustache Man. He also has that. His birthday is the 110th day of the year. But yeah, 18 days prior. 18 is a very special number in Kabbalah. Kabbalah is where this whole code of letters and numbers comes from. The Jesuit acronym in their logo, IHS, is 18, just like sun. Their logo is the sun with the letters IHS. It's 18 days before that anniversary. They said the victims are ages 14 to 18. The leader of the land. Oh, I misspoke at the beginning of this. I said this happened 99 days after his birthday. It actually happened 99 days after he took office on March 3rd on 3/3. Again, like Columbine happened on Adolf's birthday in 99. And of course, Columbine High School is 99. But this ritual went down on the 83rd day of the leader of the land's age. That's the big murder number. Murder's 83. Murder by Numbers by The Police came out in 1983. If you've never heard that song, look up the lyrics to The Police, Murder by Numbers. And this whole story comes from The Police. It's about how killing is as simple as ABC is 1, 2, 3. He took office March 3rd. And just to get these up here so you can see. March 3rd, 2025 to today is 99 days later. Of course, Columbine High School has the 99. That happened on 420. And from the day that his birthday, it's 82 days later, or if you count the span, it'd be his 83rd day of his age. And by the way, I mean, where did Columbine happen? It happened in Colorado, right? Colorado's 83. Colorado's got the 8338, just like murder. Like the movie poster for Murder by Numbers codes the numbers 83 and 38 right into the title. The story goes, a shooter opened fire at a high school in the Austrian city of Graz. Authorities said Tuesday, killing 9 people, including teenagers, in one of the worst rampages in the country's history. Austrian police confirmed the fatalities, raising the death toll from an earlier figure of 8. The country's interior ministry told CNN that the victims included children between 14 and 18 years old. Of course, you add those together, 14 and 18, you get 32, like there's 32 sun rays on the Jesuit Order's logo. The perpetrator is also dead and the school has been secured, authorities added. Several more people are seriously injured, police said. Officers first responded to the reports of several suspected gunshots at the... I'm not even going to try to say that. You can tell it was the gymnasium, though. Well, at least it does have gymnasium in the end of it. But, wow, what a name. School in the northwest of Graz at around 10 a.m. local time on the 10th of the month. Several vehicles and a police helicopter were deployed to the site. The school was evacuated and the area was secured with no further danger expected, the police said on social media. Austria's Chancellor Christian Stocker expressed horror at the shooting, writing on X, the rampage at a school in Graz is a national tragedy that has deeply shaken our entire country. This inconceivable act suddenly tore young people from the life they still had ahead of them. There are no words for the pain and grief, he added. Ursula von der Leyen, the president of the European Commission, said it is difficult to bear when schools become places of death and violence. You know what? I didn't look up Ursula here. The only Ursula I know is from The Little Mermaid. Let's see. Ursula von der Leyen. 66 years old right now. We just talked about this the other day. We just had a mass shooting story on 6/6 that was here in the United States. They said it was stopped by the feds in Kelso, Washington, 6/6. If you missed my coverage on that, you should check it out because it's just a total load of BS. Said the shooter drove past a whole bunch of malls that would have made sense to have a mass shooting. Had to go to an empty, abandoned mall. Total federal operation by the numbers, like it is every day here in the States. Let's see. October 8th. Let's see how it lines up with her. So, from her last birthday to today, 245 days, 35 weeks on the nose. Yeah, that's one of the important numbers to the church, who the Jesuits serve, but her age is 66 is what stands out the most just on the surface. Gun violence is rare in Austria, along with the most Central European countries. The country's rate of firearm homicides was just 0.1 per 100,000 people in 2021, according to the Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluation, compared to 4.5 per 100,000 people in the United States. That means there's 45 times more in the US. But Austria's gun ownership is higher than most European Union countries. There are 30 civilian firearms owned for every 100 citizens, so 30% of the country owns guns. According to the Small Arms Survey, a research institute based in Switzerland, a small number of high-profile violent incidents have taken place there in recent years. Last October, the mayor of a northern Austrian town was shot dead, along with another victim. In February, a 23-year-old man stabbed 5 passerby in southern Austria in what police said was a random attack. Okay, that's a stabbing, not a shooting. Let me see. Let's see. October 24, or mayor, Austria, shot dead. Let's see if we can pull up this story real quick. Looks like this news did break on October 28th. It's always a date with funny business, too. He was 64. We know the word kill is 64. It's Billy Goat's birthday over here. That was 225 days ago. Now we're in 2025. Be a span of 32 weeks and 2 days. Don't forget about old 322 and the Illuminati. Very important to their history. Established in Bavaria, Germany, not too far from Austria. I don't know if we covered this story at the time. I don't recall. It's interesting how the town that he was shot in had that 99 connection. Just like how they seem to pay tribute to Columbine today. 99 days after Christian Stalker took office. But yeah, we'll leave it there for now. Again, in all of these rituals, they love to pay tribute to history, and it goes right over most people's heads. The redundant patterns, such as the 61 date numerology with mass shootings, we see it all the time here in the States. And rare case here for Austria, but you can see they're trying to do the same thing there. In one of the last European countries, it sounds like, to have gun rights, they got to bring in a story like this. And, undermine the privilege that those people currently have. So we'll leave it there for now, Truth Seeker. And until next time.